What's up, Newbies? Welcome back to Cystic Arts. I'm Jess, and today I'm going to teach you how to melt chocolate. Let me adjust my camera here a little bit. There's definitely a right way and a wrong way to melt chocolate. My video right before this is going to be how not to melt chocolate, so make sure you go back and watch that. And a lot of people will tell you, oh, there's like a certain kind of chocolate that's better for this than others. And to an extent, that's true. You don't want really cheap chocolate, like I would say your Hershey's and your Nestle's, get it out of here. If you're going to be using your chocolate to like dip strawberries in, or in this case, truffles. Some people will tell you like never ever use chocolate chips. But I found that as long as you're using good quality chocolate chips, it doesn't really matter. So like I'm going to be using Ghirardelli dark chocolate chips for this. There's actually like little discs of chocolate that you can buy. You'll see those when I'm working with white chocolate in this series, and the semi-sweet chocolate I got is also that. You can use that. That's totally fine. Ghirardelli actually makes the semi-sweet and white chocolate ones I'm going to be using. But the store that I went to didn't have the dark chocolate one, so that's why I got chips. But again, chips are fine, as long as you're doing it the right way. And so for this, you're going to need just a pot with a little bit of water in the bottom. I have maybe like that much water in the bottom of my pot. And also a Pyrex bowl. You want it to fit into your pot, and a good way to measure the water is when you put your bowl in your pot, you do not want the water to be touching the bottom of your bowl. So that's how you know you've got a good ratio going on. And then with your bowl off of your pot, you want to get your water to boiling. So I'm just going to turn the burner on, and while that starts to boil, I'm going to move my camera so you guys can see the next steps. Okay, now my water is boiling, so I'm going to turn it down just to 2, and you'll be able to hear it in a second. In my electric kettle, I've got some water heating up. That way, if too much of my water evaporates here, I can add a little more water back into it that's already hot. Okay, now my water has chilled out. It's down to just a little simmer. Actually, start it up again. But once it gets down to just a light simmer, then you can put your bowl on. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my bowl on and dump some of my chocolate in. And what this is going to do is the steam is going to heat up the bowl slowly and evenly, and that in turn is going to start the chocolate melting, which you can see it already has started. And you want to keep kind of stirring your chocolate bits around. I've got an oven mitt here just in case, because my bowl is going to heat up. So just keep stirring those. This is not the time to take a phone call, go do something else, any of that. Make sure you have the time you can dedicate to standing here and babysitting this, because you want to keep stirring it. So just keep going like this until it's all melted. It's going to be a very silky, smooth texture. I have always had success melting chocolate this way. Always. I have never seized a batch of chocolate as long as I was using this double boiler method. It has always worked fine. Last year for the Khloe's Hope big annual fundraiser, I made, I think, something like 4 dozen chocolate covered strawberries, and this is how I did it. This is how I melted the chocolate to dip those in. And dipping 4 dozen strawberries takes a while, and it did take a while, but you know what? As long as I did it like this, I kept my temperature on my burner on very low, just enough to keep that water simmering just the tiniest bit. I could have worked with that chocolate all day long and it would not have seized up on me. I had all the time in the world. And if you do this too and you find out, oh, I underestimated how much chocolate I was going to need for whatever you're doing, you can add more in and just let it melt and then keep going. You don't have to like clean out your bowl, start over. It's going to remain a very lovely, smooth, silky consistency for as long as you need to work with it. This method of melting chocolate is perfect. I love it. This is the only way I will ever do it. I do not recommend doing it in the microwave because you just don't have nearly as much control over it. I always, always, always recommend to people to do it this way. So let me know if you guys try this out and what you think about it.